Alright, we got an interesting one for you here. We're at Cabot Cliffs, but the thing today is I'm going to try and do an entire round with split grip, interlock grip. I normally do overlap, as you can see there. The interlock grip lines up the club in my fingers a little differently, and I hold the club a little differently. I figure since 95% of tour players are playing this way, that there may be an advantage to it. So I'm going to play an entire round here at Cabot Links. We got the wind going on Gspro. We got the delay on the follow cam to the highest amount of delay, and that actually caused a bit of graphics issues on this particular course. Could just be course related, could be my computer, but just telling you my experience. When it tries to zoom in really fast like that, sometimes it was glitching out, and you'll see it just kind of pop up to where the ball is instead of giving me a nice smooth experience. We were getting some frames per second warnings as well, so like right here, I don't actually know what happened there. That shot looked okay in the air. Here we're going to add a couple easy scores to our... We tried to hit a 3-wood out of there for some reason, and it went about a foot. So now we got to lay up on the par 4 here with our third shot, and the fourth shot now from 90 yards. I found that I turned the club over a little more with the interlock grip. I was seeing a lot of pretty decent club paths, like 1 degree on a club path is no big deal, but turning the club over 7 degrees at impact really wasn't ideal. How it felt in the hands, it felt like it was really stable, but it did feel like I couldn't release the club as much. Like it was more, I really had to turn to square the club face instead of using my hands and hand-eye coordination, which is something that with my normal comfortable grip I feel much better at. There's kind of that glitchy run up. I've gone back and put the latency, the timing on that follow cam back to the shortest amount of time, because I like following the ball through the air on its journey. Here we have par 3, and just again the club face going left as well as the swing on that one. Double trouble there. That one stays in, and that's a par. We're going to see some pretty big scores here, but again, this is more like an experimental round to see if the swings look okay, feel okay. I gotta say, the changing a grip is one of the things that is most awkward, because you don't quite know how to deliver the club head when you're so used to the timing one way, putting like a baseball grip, and to be honest, when I first started playing golf back in high school, I had a baseball grip because I was a baseball player. It just made sense to me. Over time, I've learned to do the overlap grip to take some pressure off that right hand and allow it to actually go through the ball. But overall, I'm still trying to develop becoming someone who can golf, and so the interlock grip I like for a few reasons. One, it makes my hands feel like they're working together a little more instead of left hand and right hand always trying to sync up. It kind of takes that part out of it. And two, like I said, it feels like I have to turn more to square the club face, which is ideally what I want to do. I want to be turning through the ball instead of trying to flick my hands through it. So there may be some advantages long term. I'm going to have to keep practicing, though, obviously, because you're going to see some scores jump up here as we head to the back nine. Painfully slow downhill release there on the green that jumped us up to +5. And now we go to a par 5 following that. Pretty good drive there. So as my turning through got worse and worse throughout this round, fatigue, whatever, trying to square the club face with just my hands using that interlock grip was getting much harder, so I would have to have a pretty good strategy. Oh, that's a shame. Rolls right outside the circle for another bogey, and we're +6 through 9. Leave in the comments below what grip you use. If you're baseball, if you're overlap, if you're I had the left hand overlapped for a while and had a really strong right hand. I just want to be able to maximize my efficiency. I'm not trying to set any world records, but I think that I have good enough hand-eye coordination that if I can have a swing that makes sense and is efficient, I'm going to be able to play some pretty decent golf. As in right here, on the 10th, we get a birdie and drop back down to +5, but then immediately spray one out into the woods. Gets a huge kick back into the bunker, and a par 4 with 195 left is not great. Trying to hit just a giant hybrid rescue out of there as high and far as I can. It was on line, but it comes up short and goes into the rough. If you hear the fireworks behind me, I'm recording this on July 3rd, and everyone's going a little nuts tonight, being Sunday night before the day off tomorrow. A 231-yard par 3 here on the 12th. Extremely difficult par 3. Had the distance just a little bit off, and then that one, of course, drops out of that one-putt circle and equals another bogey on the card. We're at +7 through 13, and we should have just ended the round right here and went home and said, that's not bad. That's a little bit better than bogey golf. But we continue playing, and I'll show you what happens next. We are doing the new grip change, so we're not taking the score too seriously. We are looking at some of the launch angle stuff, some of the club path stuff, and seeing if there's any substantial change. Plus ball speed. I mean, if one equals more compression and a better path to the back of the ball, then that would be something that I would be interested in exploring as well. Here comes up a little short and right, and that's going to be another bogey, +8, and we are off to the 15th. Trying to take out some aggression there. 146 up the hill. That's going to be 265. Now coming back down the hill. This one's going right from the beginning, and it zooms into in front of a tree, and a weird, like a squirrel grabbed it or something there at the end. Trying to hit it out of the tree, and miss number 1, miss number 2, and finally I say we got to do the sim drop. And now we're hitting our 6th shot, 71 yards. And again, that interlock grip was really, if I didn't turn, then I knew I had to rescue the face somehow, and I was just turning it over in my hands. Not very good technique. We're just going to forget that that quadruple bogey happened. We are now way up at +12. What a cool hole this is, and I come up horribly short. It says, do you want to play it from the rocks? I was like, sure. And then the rock is made of some sort of glue. The ball slides down it. I take a drop on the other side of the canyon. My friends are horribly pissed at me that I can't get this hole together.
No way.
And then, of course, it doesn't stay on the green. And we're going to go ahead and chip this as well. Remember, this is a par 3. Almost jar that for a double bogey, but that's going to be a triple bogey. And everything unraveling here on the experimental round with golf grips. The interlock grip not equaling any more birdies or pars on the card at this time, but I still want to do it. See there, I tried to really focus on just the turn part instead of trying to release down at the ball so much, and that looked a little better. It hung out a little right, but that was pretty good. Trying to finish with some dignity here. Pretty good drive down the hill, about 270. Leaving a decent shot in, but fatigue and the heat in the garage and the interlock grip just got to me there on the last shot, trying to get in on the green with a par 5 on the second there. Third shot's going to come up short as well. That's going to be another par. Plus 15's nothing to be proud about on the scoring, but interlock grip, changing grips in general is difficult. I do like the feels that I get from some of the changes, and just hope you guys hang in there. We'll see if we get another round in with a grip change.